of Samach Ches Amud Beis. We'll begin Samach Ches Amud Aleph, 6 lines from the bottom. So we were in the middle of the sugya. Rav Shmuel, they explained the Mishnah that when Mishnah says Klal Gadol Amru Shabbos, that Kol Shecheach Ikar Shabbos V'Asa Malachas Harbe B'Shabbos Harbe Ein Chayv Al Chatas Hachas, that if a person is not aware of the concept of Shabbos itself, that the Mishnah says that he's chayiv for many Shabbos, he's only chayiv one chatas. It's only considered one shkag. one shkag. Rav and Shmuel, they both said that the Mishnah is talking in a case where it's a tinuk shenishba, where he never knew of the concept of Shabbos. He was never taught about Shabbos at all. He had never had an understanding of Shabbos. However, if a person did know about Shabbos, but then he forgot about Shabbos. So he was taught at one point in his life about Shabbos. Then he lived amongst Nochrim. He completely forgot about the concept of Shabbos. Over there, they say that he's chayev for each and every Shabbos. What does the Mishnah says? When the Mishnah says, what does it mean when it says that Kol Shecheach Ikar Shabbos? It means Kol Shecheach. It means Haya Shechuch Mena Ikar Shel Shabbos. The essence of Shabbos was forgotten from him. But they say if he knew about Shabbos and forgot, then he's high for each Shabbos. Right, the Gemara. But you mean to say that if a person knew of Shabbos and then he forgot about it, my chayva called Shabbos or Shabbos, you mean to say he's high for each and every Shabbos. Right, the Gemara. Aretana hayadeya ikar Shabbos va'asa malachas harbe b'Shabbos harbe chayv al kol Shabbos or Shabbos. Well, then why does the Mishnah say if he knew of Shabbos, he knows of Ikar Shabbos, he's aware of Shabbos, and he does malachas on several Shabbos, he's high for each Shabbos? Listen, Hikar l'seif shachach. Tell me a bigger chiddush, that even if he forgot, right now he knew about it, but right now he forgot about it, then he's also chayev for each and every Shabbos. V'kol shekein ha. And as Rashi explains, if you say that he knows of the Ikar Shabbos, then Hikar l'seif shachach v'kol shekein ha. Then say the case of Hikar l'seif shachach, even though there's no reason to say that the intervening days he will have found out about the Shabbos, and even then, even though he forgot about Shabbos, so there's no reason to think that in the intervening days that he will have known that he did malachas on Shabbos. Nevertheless, he's chayav for each and every Shabbos. Certainly, if he knows of the concept of Shabbos, he just forgot that today was Shabbos. Certainly, he'll be chayav for each and every Shabbos, where there is a svara, a reason to say that in the intervening days he will have found out that he did a malach on Shabbos. So Gemara says, "Hai Maya Hayodei Ikar Shabbos Einachanami." What the Mishnah means when it says Hayodei Ikar Shabbos is Misha Haya Yodei Ikar Shel Shabbos Shacha. No, that's really what it means. It means that the person knew of Shabbos, but he forgot it. Not that he is currently aware of the concept of Shabbos. He knew about it, but he forgot it. Mean to say, but if he didn't forget about it, meaning if he's still currently aware of the concept of Shabbos, my chayv kol malacha malacha, you mean to say that he's not only chayv for each Shabbos, he's chayv for each and every malacha. Meaning, if the dinim are the same, that if he knew of the concept of Shabbos and forgot it, or if he still knows about the concept of Shabbos, if the halacha is the same, Rashi explains that the Tana should combine them and tell me the halacha, the same halacha by both cases. By the fact that it doesn't, therefore, we must conclude that if he is still currently aware of the concept of Shabbos, then he is not only chayav one per each Shabbos, he's chayav for each and every malacha. So if that's the case, Adatani Hayedeya Shuhu Shabbos, also Malachos Harbe B'Shabbos Harbe Chayv Al Kol Malacha Malacha. Well, if that's the case, the Mishnah says that if a person knows that today is Shabbos, and he did several malachos, he's chayav on each and every malacha. The Mishnah says that if he knows that today's Shabbos, but he forgot that these malachas are asr, he did many malachas, he's chayiv in each and every malacha. Well, listening hayadei ikar Shabbos, let us say a bigger chiddush than if he knows of the concept of Shabbos, even if he doesn't know that today's Shabbos, but he knows that the concept of Shabbos. So kol shekain ha, and certainly in this case over here, where he knows today is Shabbos, meaning where the shgaga is on the malacha, certainly over there he's chayiv in each and every malacha because the shgaga is on the malacha itself. Tell me a bigger chiddush that even if he does not know that today is Shabbos, so let us say the bigger chiddush hayadei ikar Shabbos, and he forgot, and he does not know that. So the shgaga, one would say, is for the Shabbos, and one might say you're only chayiv for one. Certainly, where he knows that today is Shabbos, and he forgot about the malachas where the shgaga is for the malachas. Gemara says, now we have to retract our understanding of Rav and Shmuel, and that's not a tenable explanation. We cannot understand the Mishnah like we originally had thought. Ella masnisim k'shehikra l'sayv shakach ein hachanai. We must say that when the Mishnah starts off and says Kol hashachech ikar Shabbos, it means he once knew about Shabbos. He once knew about the concept of Shabbos, and he forgot that there was such a concept of Shabbos. There's such a concept of a mitzvah of Shabbos. So we're revising understanding. When the Mishnah says that he is Yedea, that a person is Shechech Ikar Shabbos, he Shechech Ikar Shabbos, it means he once knew of Shabbos and now he forgot. And there he's chayev for one chatas from many Shabbos. Rav Shmuel Nami, and they mean to say, Rav Shmuel says, Nami ki hikir olusay shakach dami, that a tinnik shenishba is the same, has the same din as hikir olusay shakach. We're revising understanding. It's not that Rav Shmuel is saying that the Reish of the Mishnah is davka where it's tinnik shenishba. No. It means that a tinnik shenishba is the same as a person who once learned about Shabbos and forgot. Rav Shmuel Damar Tavayu Afilu Tinnik Shenishba Bein HaNochrim V'Gershon Nizkar Bein HaNochrim. It means not only in this case, it means also, even in this case, Ki Hikr L'Sei Shachal Dami V'Chayim. What I mean to say is that they're both the same. Whether it's a Tinnik Shenishba or the person who once knew Shabbos and forgot, over there we say that for many Shabbos, for all the Shabbos, until he realized that he did an Avera, he's chayav one chatas for all the Shabbos. That's what we mean to say. We mean to say that the Tinnik Shenishba it's also included in the din of the Reish Mishnah. So that's the Pshat and Rav Shmuel. However, Rav Yochanan and Rav Shimon Lakish, but they argue, they both say, Davke Hikra L'Sei Shakach. They say, no, the Mishnah is Davka specifically where he once knew and forgot. But they say if it would be a Tinnik Shenishba, it's not included in the din of the Mishnah whatsoever, because they say that a Tinnik Shenishba is an oinus. If he never learned about Shabbos, he never learned the halach, he's considered an oinus. Over there, he's potter. Meisvei, I'll ask you a kasha on Rav Yochanan and Rish Lakish. Klal Gadol Amar B'Shabbos. The Brisa says, Klal Gadol Amar B'Shabbos, Kol Shechech Ikar Shabbos. If a person forgot about the concept of Shabbos, V'asam Malachas Harbe, B'Shabbos Harbe, he did many Malachas and many Shabbos, Ein Chayev Ela Achas. He is only Chayev one Korban, one Chatas, Ketzad, Tin Akshanish V'Lebein Anoch. He was a Tinnik Shenish Gershon Nizkar Ben HaNochrim. He was a Skyer, and he lived amongst Nochrim, so he never knew of the concept of Shabbos. He's only chayiv one chatas. So that's like Rav and Shmuel, but he's not considered an oinus. He's chayiv a chatas. Only chayiv one chatas, but he's chayiv a chatas. He is not considered an oinus. And he's chayiv for all of the achilos dam that he ate when he was a Tinnik Shenishba. Let's say he ate several times, many times. He ate dam. He's chayiv one korban. and for all the chaylev that he ate while he was a Tinish Nishba, after he discovers that he did the Avera, he's chayiv 1. And similarly for Avodah Zarah, he's chayiv 1 for all of the different chatos that the different Averas that he had for eating dam, or for chaylev Avodah Zarah. Tosfos asks the question, well, it's a davar pashut. Anybody, he's only chayiv 1 chatas unless he had a yediyah between each eating it. If you have someone who's not a Tinish Nishba, he ate chaylev, and he didn't realize he did the Avera, he ate chaylev again, next day he ate chaylev again, he's also only chayav 1 chatas unless he realizes in the intervening period that he did an Avera and he's chayav a chatas. But for 1 helem, you only chayav 1. So what's the chiddush over here by Tinish Nishba? Even if it's not a Tinish Nishba, there's only 1 chiyuv chatas behelem echad, unless he discovered in the intervening period between achila and achila that he is chayiv chatas, he's only chayiv 1. Tosfos Rosh answers what it means is avada he's only chayiv 1 chatas for all the achilas dam, and 1 chatas for all the achilas chaylev. However, you might think, since he's a Tinish Nishba, you might think that he's only chayiv 1 chatas globally, meaning for all the averas, for all the chiyuvei chatas, for all the achilas dam, for all the achilas chaylev, and the Avodah Zarah, etc., etc. You might think that whole big bundle, that whole package, he's only chayiv 1 chatas, because really, you might think he's only considered 1 shaygeg. He never learned any of these halachas. No, so he's telling you for each separate category of avera, he's chayiv 1 chatas for all the achilas dam, but it's 1 chatas for dam, a separate chatas for all the achilas chaylev, but it's a separate chatas for the chaylev. What do we see over here? It says that a Tinish Nishba is chayev, so that is not like Rav Yochanan Rish Lakish. Now continuing the brayso, Munba is poiter, but Munba says no, the Tinish Nishba is poiter. The Kachayamuna is done lifnei Rabbi Kiva. So this is how we learned in front of Rabbi Kiva. He said, "Hoil amazed korachayt." The Torah calls a amazed a chayt, v'shageg korachayt. It also calls a shageg. It calls him a chayt. It says by a shageg also it calls him a chayt. So, amazed by definition is somebody that knew about it. He did it intentionally, so he had a yediyah, af shageg shaisol yediyah. So the shageg that's chayiv a korban chatas must be somebody that had a yediyah. La'afuke, to exclude a Tinish Nishba that never knew. Rabbi Kiva, well, Rabbi Kiva says, if you're going to learn that way, hareini moisiv al dvarach, I'll add on to what you say, and you'll see that it's not tenable. Because if you're comparing it to a mazid, then compare it completely and you'll say, well, mazid, he not only knew, but he knew at the time that he did this action. At the time of performing of the action, he knew he's a mazid. He did it intentionally, so he knew this was also at the time he did this action. So are you going to say, are you going to say that shaygeg is also considered a shaygeg even if he knew b'shas maisa? Even if he knew at that time, he's also considered to be a shaygeg. How can that be a shaygeg if he knew at b'shas maisa he's amazing? Hey, yes, he says and he says yes, and certainly what you're adding on to what I'm saying is true. Rabbi Kiva says, what do you mean? That's not shaygeg if he knows b'shas maisa. That's not shaygeg. It's amazing. So we'll see. The Gemara will discuss later how a munvaz treats this as a shaygeg if he had a yediyah b'shas maisa. Obviously, it doesn't mean that he had a complete yediyah b'shas maisa, because then he's amazing. But what munvaz means to say is, yes, he had a partial yediyah, he had some yediyah even b'shas maisa. The Gemara will explain what that is. So munvaz answers back, yes, what you're saying is true. Meaning, shaygeg, well, the definition, as Tosfos points out, the definition of shaygeg, munvaz agrees that shaygeg means he doesn't have a yediyah. But the hekesh to mazid comes to teach you that just like mazid had a yediyah, shaygeg must have had some yediyah. It can't be a Tinish Nishba. And further, according to the way Rabbi Kiva is done, and he's moisif, and yes, and there's even a yediyah, a certain type of yediyah, a certain type of knowledge and understanding that he had, even b'shas maisa, even at the time that he committed the aver. So see exactly what that is. So, but Katanim is, so the Kash on Rabbi Yochanan Rish Lakish is Katanim is Ketzad, it says Tinek, so Bishlam Rav Shmuel Nicha, because they hold that Tinek Shenishba is Chai V'chata, so it's fine, because the Chacham say is Ketzad, a Tinek Shenishba is Chai V'chatas, El Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Shimon Lakish Kasha, but they hold that Tinek Shenishba is an Onus and he's Potter, so it's a Kasha. Amalach Rabbi Yochanan Rish Lakish Leimi Kemunvaz the Potter. Well, yes, it's true, but isn't there a shita of Munvaz? He's a Tana and he patters, and Amdamrina Kemunvaz. And we agree, we follow the shita of Munvaz. And therefore, that's why we say that a Tinik Shenishba is Potter, because we're going with the shita of Munvaz. My time of the Munvaz. Why does he say that the Tinik Shenishba is Potter Legamri from Achatas? The Pasuk says, Taira Achas Yelachem Loisa Bishkoga. It says it's one Taira, one Halacha for those that do Bishkoga. And that's talking by the Aver of Avodah Zarah, where there's a Korban Chatas. V'samich Leiv HaNefesh Asher Tasa B'Yad Rama. It says next to it, a pasuk Asher Tasa B'Yad Rama Hikeshegeg Lamezit. So B'Yad Rama, he does it with outstretched hand. He does it intentionally. So there's a hekesh. We compare Shegeg to Mezit. Ma Mezit Shaisel Yediyah. Mezit, by definition, he knew what he was doing. He did it intentionally. So he had a Yediyah. He knew that this was also Af Shegeg Shaisel Yediyah. So it must be the Shegeg that's Chayev. There's a hekesh. Now, obviously, it doesn't mean that he knows at the time of doing the Ver that he's doing an Avera, because then he's not a Shegeg, but it must be that he had a Yediyah. So that must come to the exclusion of a Tinik Shenishba. What do the Rabbanan do with this hekesh? They say that a Tinik Shenishba is chayev. So what do they do with this hekesh? Mi boilu l'kedem bekarle Reshua ben Levi lebroy, like he taught his son Torah achas yelachem la'isa bishkoga. It says one halacha for those who do bishkoga uksiv kisishku v'loisasu, as called hamitzvos ha'ela. And it says if you're shegeg and you don't perform these mitzvahs, so the Gemara in Harias, as Rashi points out, is that that's referring to Avodah Zarah, which when we say as kol ha-mitzvahs, all of these mitzvahs is referring to that one mitzvah, which is shkula, which is equivalent to all mitzvahs, which is Avodah Zarah. Uksiv ha-nefesh tasa b'yad Rama. And it says the nefesh that does b'mezit huksha kulam l'Avodah Zarah. So there's all a comparison to Avodah Zarah to teach you. So it's compared to Avodah Zarah, both in terms of the shegeg and the mezit. Avodah Zarah is a prototype. Avodah Zarah is something where we see the Torah says clearly that it's Dover Shechayim al Zdain. If he does it b'mezid, it's Chayiv Koras. And there it's where the Torah says if he does it b'shogeg, there's a Korban Chatas. So that's the prototype where we learn out and we apply it to all the cases of Shkaga and all the cases of the Hekesh, to all the cases of a person does b'shogeg, that I've called Dover Shechayim al Zdain Koras v'ashigag Chatas. Then we apply it and we say, where is there a chiv of korban chatas? Where do we say that b'shoigig, if a person does the aver b'shoigig, the chiv is a korban chatas? That is something like a Avodah Zarah, where if he did it b'mezid, there would be a chiv kores. He does it b'shoigig, it's a korban chatas. It's a chiv of korban chatas. Similarly, all averes b'shoigig, if it's something that if it would be done b'mezid, there is kores. That's where the Torah says if he did it b'shoigig, there's a chiv korban chatas.